All right, in this video, we're going to talk about how you can best manage stress, not only manage stress, but actually avoid stress completely. I get asked this question all the time with how much I keep my plate very full with ultra running and running hours on end every day while managing my business, while focusing on personal growth, with meditation, all that, how I'm actually able to manage stress. And I can actually tell you that really with over the last year, I'm now completely avoiding stress as a whole. I still have my days where, I might feel a little bit more stressed out than usual, but all in all, over the last year to 2 years, I've taken away a lot of the stress that I used to have. So first off, it's very, very widespread within Western culture, American culture, to actually go ahead and manage stress. There's all these managing stress techniques, all of that when you break it down, it's kind of like trying different diets. All in all, they don't work long term. A lot of times it's like a crash diet to where people will go on it and then they'll do well in the very beginning, and then that stress will keep coming right back. There's a very popular yoga instructor in India named Sadhguru that when he first came to America, he was shocked that all these managing stress programs and books were out there because he said, we only want to manage things that are precious to us. Why would we want to manage stress? And he always, before this, growing up, he thought stress was just something that you either choose to take on or you don't. Now, I agree with this to an extent, and this kind of actually opened up my eyes to how it's not normal that we choose to add on stress. So first off, also, before we get into the video, I'm making the distinction between acute stress and long-term stress. I'm not talking about acute stress because there is some level of healthiness when it comes to acute stress. Back when I was a firefighter, it was healthy for me to have at least a small amount of acute stress when I was running into a burning building, or say someone in the military being shot at. You're going to have a body's reaction to the flight or fight sympathetic nervous system. That's acute stress, and there's a healthy amount to that. But we're talking about cumulative long-term stress that you personally take on, whether it's with your business, whether it's with you working out, whatever it is. Most people today are living with long-term stress that's not healthy for you. So that's what I want to talk about today. Also, this is not something I perfected. I'm not the master of, not having any stress at all. I can say I've gotten a lot better at it, and I have a lot less stress than I used to with what I'm talking about today. I'll give you the different techniques that I use. But with that, I still have my days where, I feel more stressed out, all of that. But I want to go ahead and share with you how I'm able to keep such a busy plate and actually have less stress because of that. The reality is that stress is one of the things that keep people from ultimately being happy day to day. A lot of people, if they really, really look within themselves and they say why they're not ultimately happy, it's probably because they've got quite a bit of stress, whether that's financial stress, that's marital stress, whatever type of stress they've got on. That's probably a big reason why they're not happy. Big goal of this channel is to help you guys find actual true happiness, whether that's, just you being happy with, fulfilling your life goal, or whether it's you creating an online business. That way you have, the freedom to go ahead and travel and do what you want. The goal of this channel is to help you guys be happy, and managing stress and actually removing stress, not taking stress on, is a big way that you will essentially be able to find that inner happiness within yourself. So I have 4 big things that have really helped me remove stress from my life. And so the very, very first one, I'm sure a lot of you guys are already going to expect that, and that's regular meditation. By regular meditation, I mean literally every day, and many times, multiple times throughout the day. Meditation, when I actually made this a habit, not just, doing it once a week or whatever, when I made this a habit and kind of broke through what I talk about, the early stages, meditation is tough. Once I broke through that, first initial stage, this had such a profound impact on my life. When you actually can train your mind, and that's really what it is. It's almost like exercising for your mind. When you can train your mind to where you become the observer of your thoughts, you really, really can control essentially the amount of stress you take on. And even the stress that you do have, you can view it in a healthier way, or just completely get rid of it altogether. So meditation, if you aren't currently meditating, this is where maybe start with just 10 minutes a day. It could be in the beginning of the day, it could be in the middle of the day. But if you start making this a habit, like I said, the first little bit, maybe it's the first week for you, maybe it's the first month for you, it might be a little bit of a struggle. You might sit down to meditate, think it's not doing anything. I hear this all the time from people starting to meditate. They feel like it's not doing anything. They sit down to meditate. They can't turn off their brain. That's the whole point of it. Our brains are going nonstop, and meditation is to where then you can go ahead and actually be the observer of your thoughts, really, really focus on your breath, all of that. Once you do this, this will help you day to day, and it really, really will bring down stress. And in many instances, you'll just be able to remove stress altogether, not take any more stress on. So first big point, and this one's arguably the biggest one for me, is meditation. Active meditation every single day. All right, so the second point is actually doing something day to day that makes you happy. This could be your job. This could be a business. This could be, even a hobby or skill that you have, and we'll get into that in another point. But this is actually doing something day to day that you're really working on that makes you happy. When the very beginning, when I was starting with online business, I was a firefighter, started an online business. One of my first ones absolutely took off very, very, very quickly. But this was one that, I selected a niche and got into this, something that I was not passionate about at all. And that was great because that led to me being able to then work on businesses that I was passionate about and am passionate about. But in the very beginning, when I was just working on essentially chasing the dollar bill without doing something that truly made me happy, I was making more and more and more money, but I wasn't having my happiness increase, and I was having stress increase. When I switched over to doing things and working on businesses that actually make me happy, this is where I didn't take on a lot of extra stress with that. So that's where, if you are just doing a job or chasing the dollar bill, know that you're probably going to have a lot of stress come along with it. Even if you do make that money, it's so much better if you're able to enjoy what you're doing. You're going to be happy, and you're going to have a lot less stress because of it. All right, so number 3 is a very, very big one for me, and that's have a hobby or goal that gives you actual fulfillment. This is where setting those goals, even outside of business, is so, so important. And this is where I talk about the importance of seeking out pain and actually pushing your body into uncomfortable positions. There's such beautiful things that come out of that. And for me, you guys know that's ultra running. That's why I actually do ultra running. One, ultra running for me is a form of active meditation. So I'm actually, really, really working on breathing, all of that while running. But then 2, it's seeking out something that makes me uncomfortable day to day. And this allows, me to not take on cumulative stress in everything else I do. I have this level of peace about me because 1, I'm going out there and I've got those hours of active meditation. But then 2, when you go through those deep, deep pain moments with ultra running, it makes everything else seem so much easier on the surface. That way, whether it's something with my business, something with that, this really does help me not take on any other stress. And so when everybody asks me, I keep my plate so full, and one of the things that adds a lot of time to my plate is ultra running. This is such a crucial part to me not taking on that added stress. Now, I'm not telling you need to go, be an ultra runner, but find a goal that you can strive to, and a tangible goal too. For me, it could be, it's actually running a certain race, a certain distance. I've got a 100-mile race I'm training for right now. This could be you finding a goal for whatever you want to do and really, really striving for that. And this is where I would encourage you to do something on a daily basis that is uncomfortable. This could be even just taking cold showers. When you do that, because you're doing that, you're putting yourself through that acute stress and that physical stress. A lot of times you won't take on mental stress. Things that before would have caused you, more cumulative mental stress, you won't even take that on because it won't be a big deal to you at all. All right, so the 4th and last point is a big one, and this encapsulates a lot. And I could do separate videos on each one of the things I'm going to talk about in this fourth point. But that's finding balance physically, mentally, and spiritually. Most people, might be very, very good physically. They might be great at working out, but then on the mental side and spiritual side, they're lacking and they're completely out of balance. Could be, someone that's way, way, way into meditation and doing spiritual practice, but then they don't take care of their body and physically working out. You've got people that in the business world are training themselves mentally, but then on physical side and spiritual side, they're not doing that. If you're out of whack on any 3 of these points, this is where you're going to have that stress and you're not ultimately going to feel imbalanced and happy within yourself. So finding that balance. Now, this is where one, having a great spiritual practice with meditation, and then obviously ultra running for the physical side, but then especially the mental side, and the thing that kind of wraps all 3 is really, really studying Stoic principles. So for me, this came in the form of, reading Ryan Holiday. You guys know I read a book a week. And a book a week too has been a huge point of all of this. Now, the way I'm able to do that is through running and all of that. But Ryan Holiday, Stillness is Key. That's a book I would recommend to all of you out there to get you started on this, finding stillness, and then also getting into really studying Stoic principles. When you study Stoic principles and you're able to apply this to your life, that's where it's really hitting hard on the mental side, but it's going to open up everything for the physical and spiritual side as well to have all of that in balance. Another point having to do with this is actually keeping yourself disciplined. If you're not disciplined, you will be stressed out and you won't be happy. This is where, very popular topic right now is a dopamine detox. People are going on, they're looking at things they probably shouldn't be looking on every day on the computer. People are addicted to social media. All of that dopamine is controlling so many people's lives. It's a drug to them. And that's where, dopamine detox for a lot of people is going to be good. It's just building discipline. This is where, when it comes to, say, meditation or building a habit, that's where really having the discipline to set yourself to where every single day for 30 days, you're going to do 10 minutes of meditation. And then guess what? Now you've got a habit and you can go ahead and add time to that. It could be, you doing that with your hobby. It could be you doing that with business. But discipline is such a massive part to managing stress and then avoiding stress as a whole. But this is just a quick video on some of the things I do to manage stress and keep away stress. Big one is meditation. And then I would say the second biggest one is ultra running. And ultra running encapsulates so many Stoic principles for me, from active meditation to force baths to, the daily walking principle, to then I'm able to read a book a week because of it. But, that's where finding out what works best for you. I would say for everybody, meditation, but then finding out what works for you. But this is a way that you can get started, at least decreasing stress, finding more happiness within yourself. But then for a lot of you, you're going to be able to find out through this and through your spiritual practice and all of that, you're going to be able to see that you can actually avoid stress completely and get rid of stress from your life. But if you guys want me to do more videos on this, I can go so much more in depth on all of these points. I can definitely do that. Drop a comment down below. I'd love to go ahead and give you a video series on this itself if you guys would want that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please go ahead and smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Leave any comments or questions down below. I'm here to help you guys out. Be happy, be positive, be powerful, and have a great rest of your day.